This is right up my alley. I started going back to making purchases at Starbucks since we were in lockdown for like a month and a half, and I have no regrets. I have no regrets. For those of you who are wondering, this is a dragon fruit refresher by Starbucks, made with water, so it's less calories. I think it's like between 80 to 90 calories, which is great because trying to watch what I'm intaking on a daily basis. But yes, I got some normalcy back into my life because there was a while there where I felt really, really, really weird without a Starbucks. I know this sounds really high maintenance, but the coffee that I was making at home just wasn't cutting it for me. And even though I haven't been buying a lot of coffee at Starbucks per se, I've been trying to kind of wean myself off of the caffeine. These refreshers are just fantastic. They have other ones too, like lemon, lemonade, peach. We just ask them what they have. Sometimes they don't have one or the other depending on their inventory, but usually that dragon fruit one is my favorite. But I've also loved dragon fruit since I was in my early 20s when I started eating the fruit raw from the grocery store. So that's why I have a connection to it, because I would eat the fruit on its own before they turned it into a drink. Anyways, I'm going off topic here. I am here today to talk to you about some of my favorite TV shows on Netflix, and at the end I will throw in a couple extras that are not on Netflix and just in general. Now, when you guys see this, I'm probably going to post this in, I want to say early June. Let me see here. Yeah, so you're going to see this probably first week of June. I'm currently filming this in May, and currently right now in May in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, we have not opened up all of the stores. We have, restaurants are still closed. They're only allowed to do takeout, beverages, all that stuff is all, still takeout. Retailers are still closed, so can't go shopping on the malls, that kind of stuff. Our parks and recreation is still closed, so you can't even really go out except for walking on the side of the street. So, there's a lot of us sitting at home watching TV or watching Netflix or watching Crave or whatever it is that you guys have. And I feel like sometimes people just don't know what to watch, or they haven't really heard of anything good lately that they want to, really watch. So I'm here to tell you a couple of my favorite TV shows to binge watch on Netflix. And yeah, so let me know down below if you've watched any of these, if you enjoyed them like I did, or if you have any TV shows that I did not mention, please let me know down below, because I would be interested in watching different shows. So I'm just going to let you know, currently I'm watching Dead to Me on Netflix. It's a TV show with Christina Applegate. I just started the first season. I think I'm on the first, maybe 2 episodes, so I'm still warming up to it, but just so you guys are aware, I have started watching that. I heard good things about it, so I will let you guys know maybe in another video if you guys want me to do this, another batch of these in the future. Thumbs the video up, and I will do so. Yeah, so I'll let you guys know my thoughts on that TV show once I kind of get through it. There's only 1 season. I know the second season comes out tomorrow, which would be May 8th or 9th, I think it is. So we're going to see how that goes. But these are the top, I would say, of the top 5 Netflix TV shows that I've liked with the bonus. So technically I'm giving you 6. The first one would be Riverdale. Riverdale is based on a comic book, the Archie comics. If you guys are, aware of the Archie comics, I was kind of skeptical of watching Riverdale at the beginning because I was like, oh, maybe it's too cheesy, or maybe it just, is not entertaining enough. I ended up watching it and it was really great. There's a lot of mystery. It's a more murder mystery type of thing, but I feel like it keeps you interested all the time because you want to know what happens. The characters, the actors, they're really good. They do really well with each character. I feel like there's not many amateurs, so it did turn out really nice, and I really did like the suspense and leaving the viewer always wanting to know what happens next. So Riverdale is definitely a good one. The next one is the 100. So the 100 is I think it's like 8 seasons, 7 or 8 seasons. I think there's 7 seasons. The 8th season I think is coming in June, which I cannot wait to watch. It's basically the world, was in distress. They had a nuclear war that destroyed the entire planet, and there were people that figured out how to survive by creating a city up in space. You learn about all these different characters, where they come from, and at some point they decide to come back down to Earth to see how, Earth has healed itself, in a matter of speaking. And if they could start, creating their own civilization, their own city, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically a survival show and how to survive. I think it was really interesting. Like, I found that I wanted to know next what happens. And there's actually a girl in there that is from Thunder Bay, Ontario. She plays one of the sisters of one of the main characters. And she's Greek. She's from Thunder Bay, Ontario. It's funny because my cousin was telling me too that my cousin's from Thunder Bay. She went to school with her. And this young actress turns into one of the main characters as the series goes on. I think there's 7 seasons so far. I have watched all 7 seasons. I'm waiting for the 8th one to come out. You would definitely, if you're into survival type stuff, kind of like a Walking Dead situation, only without it's like a Walking Dead situation, but without the zombies, if you know what I mean. So that actually brings me to my next one, which is Walking Dead is on Netflix. I think I still think it's there. I'm giving you guys 7 instead of 6. Sorry. Anyways, Walking Dead is a good one. It's another survival if you are into that kind of stuff, zombies and all that. I've watched. I'm really sorry. You guys are hearing frickin' noise next door. They're building a pool, and I don't know what. I don't know what possessed them to get contract approvals, because I don't think that's allowed, but what am I gonna do? I'm not the type to go snitch, so I really couldn't care less. Just bear with the background noise. Anyways, Walking Dead is a really good one for this is so annoying, you guys. You have no idea. Walking Dead, as I was saying, is a great survival TV show if you're into the zombie world. I've watched Walking Dead start to the most recent episode that they've aired. You have majority of their seasons on Netflix. I think there's 9 seasons on Netflix. If there isn't, there's 8, and the 9th season will appear in October of this year, because right now they're airing season 10 on TV. Well, they had aired season 10 on TV, but they had put it on hold because of COVID-19. So anyways, that's a great survival one. Next is Gilmore Girls. If you guys are more into fluffy and airy type of somewhat comedy show, then I would say go for Gilmore Girls. I feel like Gilmore Girls are more geared to teenage girls and moms. So, I loved watching Gilmore Girls. I think it was amazing. It's an older TV show, so it's like the late 90s, early 2000s, and it brings you back to a time where you wish you could go because there wasn't as much technology and just life was simpler then. So Gilmore Girls is definitely a thumbs up for me, a definite great watch for moms and daughters. Now that I'm posting this in June, but thinking of Mother's Day coming up on the weekend, it's definitely something to think about. I think Mother's Day is next weekend, but it is what it is. Like you could watch something like that with mom. And then also on Netflix, Friends. Friends has been my top favorite TV show of all freaking time since my early 20s. Always rewatched it. It's just a tried and true. It's very fluffy, very airy, very funny. It's a comedy. In these times right now when we're just kind of depressed and bored at home, you definitely need a laugh, and I feel like Friends does that. So that's a great one. Orange is the New Black is my next one. If you're into women in jail, being in jail, just the whole storyline behind it all, I find is very interesting. And the way they build the characters. Sorry guys, I have allergies. And my window's open, which is why you can hear all of the freaking noise from next door's construction. So anyways, Orange is the New Black is a great, also a somewhat comedy, but it has a bit of a dark theme to it. Women with a lot of mental issues, just a lot of different stories in one show that I feel like is entertaining and really works for a lot of people. At some point, somebody can relate to one of the characters in the show, I feel. So, Orange is the New Black, if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. I think there's about 8 seasons. I can't remember if it's 7 or 8 seasons, but it's one of the two, and it's just fantastic. My bonus series for Netflix that I'm going to advise to watch is Shameless. Shameless is like just freaking funny. Now, pardon my French, but if you think that your own family's fucked up, you have to watch this family because they are the most messed up family that I've ever watched on television. And I feel like a lot of people, in certain ways, can relate to them. Maybe not entirely, but in certain aspects can relate to them. And I feel like a lot of people will be able to make a connection with that TV show. I think that show has 10 seasons, or it's got 9 seasons at least on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. The 10th season, I believe, is going to appear next year, but it's enough to be able to binge through. So with that said, I'm going to talk about some documentary series or reality TV on Netflix that you can also binge watch. My first one is Making a Murderer. That one is so interesting to watch. It is true. It is a true story. You can do your research on it. Basically, a guy gets jail time for a murder that he claims he did not commit. After hiring a bunch of lawyers to go through the evidence, it turns out the evidence shows that he is not, in fact, the murderer. However, he's still locked up, and they're trying to get him out legally. So if you're, into that kind of stuff, like law and crime, that's a great one to watch. Making a Murderer is definitely a good one. And then the next 2 shows are love reality, I guess you could say. So the first one is Too Hot to Handle. Basically, there's a bunch of people that go on a resort, and they are good looking. The group is all good looking, and they are very horny, and all they want to do is have sex, but they're not allowed to. And if they do, they lose. The group has a pot of money, and to start with, so I think it's like $100,000, and then whoever starts getting physical with someone, they lose money from the pot, as the people break the rules. So it's basically a team effort of not being physical, touching anyone. But, people start to fall in love and that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a challenge. That's a really funny one to watch, I think. But it's not anything too serious, so it's very lighthearted. And then the last reality is Love is Blind. That was actually really famous for a while in beginning of quarantine because everybody just had nothing else to do but watch it. So if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. Basically, there's a bunch of people that go into pods and speed date without seeing the person, and they are to decide whether or not they want to spend the rest of their life with them, and the man will propose if they decide that that is the person for them. What I found with Love is Blind was that it was very, I'd like to say, I don't know if sexist is the right word per se, but there was no gay couples on there. It was a man and a woman. So that was kind of a little bit, sad because, I wish it was more what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? My brain is coming to a complete stop when I'm talking about, like, I would have liked to see more of a mix of, like, guys and girls, girls and girls, guys and guys, like, because our world today is not just a guy and a girl, and I feel like that The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, those type of reality shows stick to the guy and girl thing, and that's not really what our reality is. So I feel like even though Love is Blind was a funny show to watch, between that and Too Hot to Handle, they should have mixed it up a bit with mixed gender couples, I guess you could say. I'm coming to a complete frickin' blank on the official term for it, but you guys get what I'm saying. I'm really distracted right now by this stupid noise coming from next door, so that's why my mind train is a little bit off. Okay, and then here are some other shows that, they're not on Netflix, but if you either have them as DVDs or you can log in somewhere online and download them, then please, knock yourselves out. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorite all-time 90s TV shows. Aside from Friends, Buffy was like, when I was a little girl, I would watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 8 years old, and I would never miss it on YTV. It was on YTV, I think at like 4 or 5 o'clock as soon as I got home from school. Never missed it for a day. I fell in love with Angel. I'm an Angel fan. David Boreanaz was like freaking amazing at that role, and to this day, every time I see him, that's all I see is Angel. And when I was little, I also said I would marry an angel, which I'm not married yet, but I am dating an Angelo, and in Italian, Angelo means angel. So, what do you know? So next show, 90210, the original series. I'm talking about the one in the early 80s, like late 80s, early 90s with Luke Perry, Shannon Doherty, like all those people. You have to watch the old one. If you haven't watched the old 90210, you need to. It is the best one. I know they came out with a newer version not too long ago, and then they did like flash forward of the 902 of the original cast, and that was kind of weird how they did it. But anyways, the original 90210 is where it's at. You need to watch it. There's 10 seasons. You'll thank me later. Next, Dawson's Creek. Who doesn't like Dawson's Creek? I used to watch it on WB all the time. In the late 90s, early 2000s. Katie Holmes, come on. Actually, I'm recently reading Busy Phillips's autobiography, memoir, or whatever you want to call it. And I just love her personality. She's so bubbly. She played a character in that TV show at some point in this series. I have the entire Dawson's Creek series. I loved it, had no complaints. It's very airy, and I want to say it's like 90210, but less of like the less of LA type of thing and more country-ish, if you know what I mean. Next up, I have True Blood. This is an HBO, so you might find it on Crave. If you like vampires, True Blood is where it's at. Check it out. Thank me later. It is fantastic. I will warn you though, True Blood has a lot of sex scenes and very much nudity. So, you know, for those people under the age of what? 16, 15, just ask your parents before you go and watch that. And then here's another one, Charmed, the older version. So they came out with a new version, Charmed, I think last year. But honestly, I like the old 90s version of Charmed with Alyssa Milano and Shannon Doherty and Rose McGowan. Oh my God, Rose! I think I have her biography that I'm waiting to listen to as well. So that's on my list to do. But anyways, that is like an amazing TV show if you haven't seen it. And then that's more of like a witchy show. Like if you like witches and supernatural shit, you'll like Charmed. And then One Tree Hill. One Tree Hill is like 90210, but a little bit further down the gaudy step. Like 90210 is the gaudy of the shows. That are, you know, in LA, and they're rich and they have everything they want kind of thing. One Tree Hill is more down to earth, but there's still drama. There's definitely still drama. So if you definitely check out One Tree Hill. And I'm going to end it there because I'm going to lose my mind with the noise in the outside. And let's be honest, I'm not going to go and close the window because I'm too lazy. Anyways, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Happy watching your TV shows, and let me know down below if you have watched them, if you like them. I'd be interested to know. Thanks guys, love you. Don't forget, stay safe, wash your hands, and make sure you stay at home. Bye.